Mabuhay, Kamustika, welcome. How are you? This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. 5 benefits of your Filipina working in the Philippines. You heard that right. Are there any benefits to your Filipina working in the Philippines, working for $6 to $8 a day? I'm serious. Now, currently I'm under the weather today, but that isn't affecting my mind. I think it is normal and easy for a Western man to tell a Filipina that he is dating or has even married that she should quit her job because she's not earning much money. And in fact, he can and is willing to send her a lot more to not work. I'd like to address this today. I think it is a salient question to ask. Are there benefits to your Filipina working in the Philippines? Subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea for relationship tips with a foreign woman. In my case, I've been married to a Filipina, a woman from the Philippines, for 4 years and 10 months. I've tried to put myself in her shoes and try to understand her background because I know that coming from a different culture than mine, I've been in the United States all my life, she will have different impressions than mine. Come on over to the WordPress blog created for the channel by Mr. E. The link is in the description box. You can see some other things about the channel there. Now, I saw a comment from someone from another blog, and immediately it resonated with me. It was about Westerners wanting their Filipinos to, excuse me, quit working in the Philippines because they aren't making much money. And so I wanted to do a video on that because I agreed with that person. Depending where she works, $10 a day would be considered a real good wage, with many, perhaps most, making half of that. I can relate to that since I married a Filipina. This topic deserves a look at. My wife immigrated to America 8 months after we married in the Philippines. She was a teacher there, but stopped working to focus on our relationship. I did not ask her to do this. In fact, I don't even know what she earned. I did tell her that I would do my best to meet her needs. She has always maintained a desire to work at something to provide for her family, despite the fact I can help them and love to be of help. She doesn't want me to do all the providing, however. I think it is important to consider why she might benefit by working in the Philippines. As always, I want to hear your comments. I prefer, if possible, to have topics that are not overused, and I think today this qualifies. So what are the benefits of her working in the Philippines, even if she does not make a lot? I thought of 5. Number 1, in no particular order, developing and maintaining relationships. I myself have worked for nearly 40 years, so I know the value of having friends and acquaintances in the workforce. It enhances her life to get to know people and to see them at work. I can't be all things to my wife, so having other women around is a good thing for her, especially if they are a good influence on her. Number 2, learning to deal with difficult people. Working will expose her to some difficult people as well, which, while uncomfortable, helps her to know how to deal with that conflict. Hopefully, that is something that carries over into marriage. Number 3, personal satisfaction. I am sure my wife derived satisfaction from being a teacher. She has a lot of ideas for working in the Philippines. It's only natural for her husband to think to himself, but why would she need to work when I can take care of that? If we can find the right kind of work for her, I will explain in just a little bit, it may help her to have a more positive experience when we retire in the Philippines. A 4th reason, knowing that she is directly providing support for her family. I emphasize she here because while I might feel that all is well if I help her family to a high degree, my wife doesn't want it that way. She wants to help. She is the eldest child. She feels a ton of responsibility to provide. I am sure she appreciates how I have helped her, but the fact remains that she wants to be helping herself. She also doesn't want to give anyone the impression that she is relying on me solely for family help. A fifth reason, responsibility. I tend to believe that most employment is routine and eventually becomes a bit of a grind. You just need to go to work each day and do your best. There are rules to follow. There is a delegation of authority. You need to be punctual. I feel like I have personally grown up a lot, having spent more than 2/3 of my life at the same company. I think one can become lazy if they aren't working. I think it is rewarding to simply know that you did the job well. One of these days, we hope to retire in the Philippines, and I don't think it would be good for both of us to have nothing to strive to attain. Nothing to keep us focused and interested and engaged. For me, I hope it is at least this YouTube channel. Now, some cautions. This does not mean that I want her slaving away, working 10 to 12 hours a day for little money. That would mean that we wouldn't see each other much, and I do not want that for her. I would not want her to work at something that was very physically demanding or where the conditions were poor. I do want her to use her God-given skills and abilities and mentality to do the things that she is meant to do. She was not made with certain skills and bents only to have them go to waste by marrying a Westerner. My wife is a hard worker. She has worked full-time here in America since maybe midway through 2016. She started as a temp and got full-time work. And she has worked up to 60 hours a week, all without complaining, and all by at the same time doing the cooking, the cleaning, even yard work. She likes to get out there in the yard and work. All this despite me working 6 days a week whenever I can. For anyone assuming, pardon me, that she is living on easy street with me, she is pulling her own weight. I left whether she would work or not up to her, and she wanted to do something when she got here. For those believing I am responsible for all of, quote, the house that Aiza built in the Philippines, guess again. She is responsible for 75% of the payment for it after I made the down payment. She is paying a lot more than we are for our house here in America. Her car payment also dwarfs mine. In time, she will have these paid off, but she wanted to work with something to motivate her to keep working. She wants to find something to do when in the Philippines at our retirement also. Now, something that I am encouraging is for her to get a real estate license and sell property over there. She has an affinity for that. She is bright. She even has a little experience, but I want her to make herself as marketable as possible. Whatever education she would need, I want her to get. She could make a 5% commission and could do it on her own time and for a long time after I die, and it wouldn't need to be a back-breaking, physically demanding job. Many Filipinas find satisfaction in earning some money, and I am no different with my love beyond the sea. We are going to the park here so the kids have a chance to play, and Aiza is driving us, and there is children are back there. We actually have a full carload here. I'm looking forward to it too. Good place, relaxing place to go and walk. So on our way.